What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is Big Games BS, presented by the Media Group, brought to you, whatever the fuck. I don't think I'll ever get that shit right, but I do know we're brought to you by AlphaMaleJacks.com. A lot of energy out in this world. A lot of low T, high E, and as a man, we can't have that. Like, check this out right here. We got a special Christmas bonus going on right here. Whatever package you buy, they will give you 50% back in the gift card. You can use that on yourself, or you can use that on helping somebody else get. So if you're a woman, because we do the women stuff, and you want to get fit and you tired of that man not having Fuller D, man, go get yourself and then get that man the gift of Fuller D. He will bless you. You know how good a man gonna feel, like, especially when that thing is thanging and you're getting up in there and he's giving you that vibe and you're giving him that feedback. That could be the catalyst to getting him back the way that you want him. Women, remember, the man is the head of the house, but you're the neck. You move the head whatever way you want it to move. So help his head get bigger by giving the gift of AlphaMaleJacks.com. If you're over 30 years old, we do get free blood panel evals. Just got to go fill out the consultation. Tell them Big Game sent you. Christina will hit you up. We'll make sure you get the stuff. Let me send this text real quick. I mean, this email out. Let's talk portal. Fallout, Jags, and other BS. All right. A lot of stuff has been going on in this world. A lot of low T. Lot of low T. But we'll get into all those things. I forgot to. I think it's in one of those. I think it's on the 2 emails ago with the book bag drive. Not book bag drive. I keep saying book bag drive. The Christmas gift thing. We got to raise money for the Christmas gift, guys. This is the last. Well, it's not the last week. We'll go all the way. I think Tuesday or Wednesday next week, I'm delivering the gifts to Tallahassee. So I need to know which we're doing that. Jacksonville will do it later on. We will be presenting that. So if you want to, go to mftkfoundation.com. You can donate to the PayPal. My Venmo is shut down right now, so I don't know what's going on with Venmo. But Cash App, # MFTK36. Or you could just go to jamescolemangivesback.com. Yeah, that one. And you could go see what Amazon gifts are still left to buy for kids. So would really appreciate that if people would just donate a little bit of money, donate a little bit of time and resources, $30 per kid, trying to get 300 kids. We're updating that Amazon wish list daily. So again, if you would do that, would definitely greatly appreciate that. Definitely greatly appreciated everybody coming on board, and just, the shows have been doing numbers, man. It's been amazing how good the show's been doing. Appreciate that. You guys have been loving the shorts. That's kudos to Miles and how good Miles has been doing with the editing. Appreciate my brother Brian McFadden coming on the show Monday and giving his take. Very, very, very high energy, very enthusiastic with what he was saying. Those are all things that just continue to grow. If we get to 5,000 by the end of the year or before the bowl game, we'll give away a pair of tickets to the Orange Bowl, which I think I'm going to be covering as an analyst again. Right now we're over 100 members. We'd love to try to get that to grow, but if that 5,000 subscribers, 100 members was the goal, which was my goal that I said by the end of the year. So before I get into that, I want to shout out this Friday. We won't be having a show, more than likely. Miles is supposed to get back to me. We'll probably have another show tomorrow if we can. Playoff numbers. My running backs been doing good. Mandarin is in the state championship on Friday. If you're in Tallahassee, I would love to just see as many people come out and support Mandarin as possible. That would just be really, really extremely dope to me. You don't have to, but it'll be dope if you come. Just so people can know what my running backs have done in 4 games. T.R. Weiss, again, no offers yet. 676 yards all-purpose, 9 touchdowns. Deshard Westcott, 370 yards all-purpose and 3 touchdowns. This is the playoffs. This is in the regular season. Both are over 1,000 yards. I think Westcott is 1,500 yards all-purpose on the season. Deion is 2,200 yards all-purpose on the season and 29 touchdowns on the season so far. Just really, really good stuff for them. My platform, I love talking about being proud of stuff. Something that happened on my social media, and we'll talk about it a little bit more in detail here coming up, but like I don't really know what some of y'all problem is, but like I joke and talk about everything on social media. Everything on social media, especially on my page. If you can't handle it, it's not my problem. Really don't give a fuck. That's part of the allure. That's part of the thing with social media. Some of y'all, not y'all, but some people love and think that I'm not 39 years old and a grown ass man, father of children, and they'll say shit like, they'll say shit to my moms and be like, "Yo, your son said this because your son blah blah blah." My mom, I told mom, you gotta start telling them that my baby's a grown fucking man. Mind your own goddamn business or don't listen to him. Mute him. My baby's doing what he does and it pays him. Shout out to my guy Anton Daniel. Shout out to Care Program, Care O2. But nothing bothers me more in the world than when I offend somebody. And what do you mean by that, James? I never mean to offend anybody on accident. If I ever offended you, I'm mad because I want to offend you on purpose. Like, I want to give you a really good reason to be upset with me. Like, again, no walking the line. Most people who don't, like, I'm one of those honest people. Like, if you say, hey, man, they say, James, why this person don't like you, big game? And you tell me who they are, and you know what I'm going to say? Damn, they got a good reason to not like me. And if you tell me who they are and I don't know them, then I get mad. Because I don't know what I did. And I want to know what I did so I can do it more. It's one of my pleasures in life is to offend people on purpose. I like to do everything purposefully, like a purpose-driven life. I think that was one of the books that Christians were reading about 20 years ago. But I wouldn't have known. I made a comment. Former FAMU coach Joe Taylor's on the college football committee. I'm still perturbed, no longer upset. To quote my homie Coda on Twitter, she put, I was heartbroken 2 days ago. Now I'm heartless. I don't have a heart no more. That's a great way to put it. But Joe Taylor coached at FAMU. And then for people who don't know, if you grow up in Tallahassee, it's the South. Long time ago, and even some aspects now, I tell people it's less about racism and it's more about business now. But it used to be tenuous, the situations between Florida State and FAMU at times. And what happened was FAMU played the University of Miami in a home and home. They could not host the game at Bragg Memorial. It was too small. So they hosted the game at Doak Campbell Stadium in 1979. And I am going to be one of those who admit it. Florida State was not as welcoming to, now I want you to share I want people to see the tweet that I put out, the first one with the guy with the crazy hair. Next one, yeah, that one. That's the tweet I put out. Florida State was not as welcoming to FAMU as they should have been. I believe they let the University of Miami use the visitor locker room. They did not let FAMU use the home locker room. So FAMU had to either it gets thrown around sometimes, either had to get dressed outside of the stadium or they had to get dressed at FAMU and then bus over. It wasn't a great situation for FAMU, and it was a bad look on university relations in 1979. So that's a little historical context. Joe Taylor was a coach at FAMU. So this is the tweet that I put up, people. If you can't see it, I'll read it for you. Once it gets up there. So I put a picture of Joe Taylor because Joe Taylor is on the college football committee. And I put this get back for 79 is what he was rumored to have said. So FAMU was fucking Florida State for what happened in 1979 and got them back. Jokes, people. Jokes. Tongue in cheek. Like, as much as I talk about FAMU, as much as I come back home, for those who don't know, I literally grew up on FAMU's campus. My mother and father met on FAMU's campus. I was crawling around Poking Horn Village. There's a lot of people who go to FAMU that don't even know what the fuck Poking Horn Village was. But that is the dorm, or basically the housing for the kids who couldn't not fuck. So they went and got married and did, because HBCUs still have these things where like they got male only dorms and girl only dorms, and you can't have company after 11, and a house mom has to like still fight. This is probably why this homosexuality is rampant over there, because you can't get pussy quickly as you want to. Pussy's rampant in college. That's what you go to college for. That's why, whatever, But my thing is, it was a joke. Much like a lot of things, my brother, I'm not going to say I'm going to protect the innocent, but if you know me, you know who I call my brother. My brother got the text message. I didn't get the text message. My brother got the text message. And then he showed me, because again, I'm going to be deliberate with my disrespect. It's at THE5Q. I didn't know who this was until my brother told me who it was, and I know exactly who he is. He's a member of the Cigar Lounge I am in Tallahassee. This man could have reached out to me personally and told me what the fuck was going on. But at D5Q did not reach out to me personally. He reached out to my brother and screenshotted my post. If my mama can't tell me what to do, what the fuck makes you think my friends can tell me what to do? Your boy dead wrong for putting this on FAMU. Taylor had no affiliation or that kind of allegiance to FAMU to do something, to say something like that. That's fucked up. I see why the old heads don't fuck with FSU. Further, your boy saying this on 2023, he must feel what they did in 1979 was wrong. I do. It was fucked up what they did in 1979. That's why the joke lands. That's what the joke is for. But again, you guys know what this is? He's older. Played football back in 92 for FAMU. So you know what you experience when you get a little older. Testosterone levels a little lower. Estrogen levels a little elevated. You gotta go to Alpha Male Jacks, man. You a member of the lounge. All you had to do was text me and say, hey, James, I don't think what you did was right. I would say, I don't think experiencing low testosterone is right. Go to Alpha Male Jacks and tell them you cool with James, and they're going to do that. I mean, my man was 38 hot with me. You know what he said I need to do to OJ? Oh, my bad. Shit. You know what he said? You know what he told my boy he need to do? He better apologize. You out of your, to quote the great prophet that Jesus put on this earth, Nevadius Demon Wilbon. We all better know him better as Future. It's two things we don't do: give money back and apologize. Man, you out of your goddamn mind if you think I'm going to apologize for it. That wasn't even a pointed joke. As much shit as I do for FAMU, man, get the fuck out of here. This motherfucker was crying and calling me to help make an NIL program for FAMU players. To try to we gotta keep Isaiah Land. James, the whites are coming to get our best player. Can you help us, sir? Can you help us do what the whites do, sir? Bitch, I'll say whatever the fuck I want to say. He ain't my coach. Funny thing is, one of the kids that I did train actually played for Joe Taylor. And he was just like, but he saw the joke in it. Like he knew I wasn't being serious. Get the fuck out of here. It's your problem. Maybe you know what? This is pointed. This is pointed. This is the truth. If the problem is, FAMU, y'all so goddamn worried about motherfuckers talking about you and saying little sly shit like that instead of what the fuck is actually going on at FAMU. In fact, if you really have an issue with me, all I ask is that you take it up with me after 7 p.m. That's my only request. But I will be in Tallahassee, Florida on Friday, roughly 11:30 a.m. till about 7 p.m. Come say that shit to my motherfucking face. I'll be on FAMU's motherfucking campus. Hopefully winning the state championship game. But if you're not, I promise you this, I will leave with 1 W minimum. And I ain't talking about the football game. But my response to this, and I know this is going to probably demonetize Miles, but this is the first thing when I got the call. One of my favorite movies, older movie now. I feel it's a damn shame that I can call this an older movie, but it's a movie called Hoodlum. And when I really put it down, I was like, damn, this is kind of one of those things. You'll play that, Miles, that this clip. And it's Lawrence Fishburne who's playing Bumpy Johnson. He's talking to his cousin. And in that, and this is what happens sometimes. Ever since I helped the Cigar Lounge get their fucking get their liquor license, sometimes the liquor just flows a little bit too strongly over there. And you gotta remind motherfuckers who the fuck you are. And this is my public service announcement. So if I ever say anything to you, I'm gonna be cool, calm, and collective and stoic as what people say I am, but this is how it's gonna be. And I'm gonna talk to you this. I'm gonna give you 2 chances, and then actually 3 strikes, you out. But go ahead.
You need to go home. You drunk on that King Kong.
You drunk on yourself.
Illinois, don't let me raise up and come over there and put my hands on you.
That's how you talk to me now? Huh? You talking to me?
I done told you! Take your drunk ass home!
That's basically that's basically what's gonna happen. Now, after I get there, it ain't no more words coming. Again, as my mom says to the casual observer, I go from 0 to 100 real quick. But what people don't do is they don't pick up context clues. But that's for anybody who has anything to say about what I have to say on the platform in which I fucking built. Especially now that my pastor's going to Tallahassee and I can't go see Jermaine Simmons because he's leaving. Let's not do this shit. But it's not just Joe Taylor. It wasn't just a conspiracy with him. He conspired. I want to list all of his co-conspirators or whatever you say. And if you go click on the next thing, I want to look at all of these simple-minded motherfuckers that came in and besmirched the beautifulness in which is college football by fucking us over at Florida State. It wasn't the guy with the one thing about old black men. I hope I don't be this old black man. I think the old black men nowadays are getting better. Our haircuts are better. We're not going around with egregious hairlines. Shout out to my guy Dibby. Like Bobby Womack and them used to do. But Joe Taylor's hair is fucking amazing. It's a fucking a shame. Do something with that high top fade, man. Edge all fucked up. How you bald all the way on the sides but got so... Never mind. I'm not even going to get into that. Chris Alt, Mitch Bernhardt, Boo Corrigan, Chet, Glad Chuck. I want to throw this coffee at Chet. I don't even know who the fuck Chet is. But Chet just looks like somebody that I don't like. Jim Groves, sorry-ass Wake Forest coach. Mike Harlan. Wade Double Chin Manuel. David Saylor. Goddamn Will Shields. I used to like you. Gene, I look like Kirk Herbstreit in another in a multiverse. Taylor. Fucking Joe, highest of 7 heels. Get you back for 1979, Taylor. Rod, I wish my name was Alan West. And it's always got to be one fucking blonde bimbo. And she looks like her name should be Karen, but it's Kelly Whiteside. She just looks like she's going to call the manager. Hate these people. Fucked up my university. I hope I hope they all get a lump of coal for Christmas. Still don't put that 55. I still ain't shit. Well, alphamalejacks.com will help you continue to be ain't shit. Love it. But I would like to say a respective. Fuck all them, their family, the church they go to, their alma maters, the respective places in which they coach, their ancestors. Leaving anybody out? The God they serve. Whoever it is that could be fucked, I want to say a fuck you for fucking up our perfect season. These are the only people that could beat Florida State this season. Congratulations, the College Football Committee. You actually did what nobody else could do, is you fucked Florida State over, but whatever. Not going to delve into it too much, but I just want to let people know we didn't get a chance. We did such a great job on Monday with such content. Again, if we get over 100, we will open up the phone lines. We're at 82 right now. Make sure we get those likes up. We had so much video that we didn't even get into, but I want to show people, like, we did the video. I can't show it because this definitely would demonetize. Key and Peele had their skit with the Obama, and there was the one where he got to somebody took it. It wasn't our original thing, but that's why I'm not getting monetized and don't care about it. But somebody put all the different names of media. But Dan Mullen was the one that Obama is supposed to be Mike Norvell. He stops at Dan Mullen and they're like quarter black. I mean 1/8 black. And he's like, "Good afternoon, my octoroon." But he looked at him weird because it's Dan Mullen. But if you would go and play the Dan Mullen interview, and I want you to guys, this is what happens when there's a joke, a joke or a parody about to happen, and you don't let everybody inside the joke, in on the joke. And Dan Mullen gives this man a look of, what the fuck are you talking about? And again, it's the obese motherfucker that ain't never did shit like that. It's them the ones that got everything to say. Actually, I want to play both those videos, but like, let's listen to what Daniel Mullen, like. It was the first tweet you clicked. Yeah, so like, I want you to listen to this guy. I want you to, while we're doing this, we're gonna see Dan look at him in such a way of disgust. Like, did you fix your lips to say that? Actually, I think that's about the moment when Dan is like, what the fuck? But let's go push play here.
Because they had to go to Wildcat with their third string guy. So the committee is looking at, especially I think that Florida game,
Turn up a little bit,
and saying that, okay, this is what we have to make a determination on.
Do you see the look right there?
Game? And based on the totality of where Florida State is now, is Florida State one of the 4 best teams? And I think what they decided, if not in these words, is this concept. Florida State showed in those 2 games that they're basically Iowa right now. They have great defense, suspect offense.
Well, the same day you're talking about this Florida State game, the Alabama team, who we just shoved right in, they're the greatest thing of all times, played an Auburn team who had been absolutely boat raced by New Mexico State. I mean, embarrassed by New Mexico State
The week before.
and needed an absolute miracle to beat an extremely below average Auburn team. And so, but I guess I'm sorry, that must, and that was not with their backup and third string quarterback. That was with Jalen Milroe, who is like, has to be, Jalen Milroe is the guy. They could barely win that game. So I think, to me, and it gets into the biggest thing, and I love the criteria. The criteria is the best team. Well, how do you find the best team? Okay. The best team subjectively, well, it was already done. The best team yesterday going in, Georgia was the number 1 ranked team. Okay. So the committee thought they're the best team. They're the best. Like, that, we don't need to see a game. They're the best. Okay. Because it's subjectively. Las Vegas had them as a big favorite. Subjectively, they're the best. Objectively, we went and played a game. And when you played the game, oh, lo and behold, maybe they're not the best team. In the movies.
You know why all of these other guys are smiling? You know what they've actually done? You know what they've actually done in life? Played fucking football or coached fucking football. It's the motherfuckers who haven't done anything, or the talking heads. Like Kirk Herbstreit used to be somebody. But now he's nobody. Like a lot of these guys are talking heads. Stephen A. Smith sucking Deion Sanders' dick. We'll get to that in a second, though.
Always wins. The best team who we subjectively think is the best team in college sports doesn't always win. Maybe who you think is the best team doesn't always win. So in the game of football, what makes it so special is you have to play the game. And when you play the game, someone wins and someone loses. And if you play it 10 times, it might be different. But in college football, you get to play it once usually. You play the game, someone wins, someone loses. And you know what Florida State did? All they did was win. Win, win, win.
And shout out to DJ Khaled, the DJ Khaled thing right there. And it's just like there's nothing because the guy fixed his dick suckers to say that shit. Like, you really said, oh, well, you know, they're basically Iowa, except Iowa lost.
Crazy disrespectful.
Like, they won. And then what's after watching it, if you want to get the film breakdown too, did my breakdown of the Florida game, the Louisville game. I got mad at Brock Glenn all over again because like there was shit there, but again, whatever. It was a defensive masterclass. What Coach Fuller pulled. It was crazy to see that shit. Like, bro. But you know what? Fuck it. Let's listen to the Big 12. A Big 12 coach, guy who's coached against Florida State, guy who's been in the national championship game. Since Gus Malzahn had something. He was asked. Matter of fact, almost every coach who's asked has basically said that this is a travesty of what has happened. But this is stuff that just happened. So I want people to realize. So if you're arguing as a rival or somebody else, and you're just trolling at this point, and you got a loser mentality. And I question if you're good at anything in life. It's not that Florida State should. I think the Florida State fans who are suggesting that Florida State should not play in the bowl game, I think you're a loser if you're a Florida State fan that suggests that. But as a competitor, it's okay to recognize the bullshit. As we talked about at the beginning of last show, this is what some people live on in everyday life. But for you to quit and not do anything, you're fucking crazy. But let's see what Gus has to say.
I mean, I was real disappointed. You know, what football really is, you know, finding a way to overcome obstacles. I mean, I was real impressed. I texted him after the game. That was one of his best coaching jobs. I mean, they're their third quarterback in. And a team finds a way, a defense play their best game against a top 20 offense, and they win, and they don't get rewarded. I think that's a bad look for football. I was real disappointed personally. I'm kind of one of those old school, high school guys, worked my way up. And not that I'm a Florida State fan by any means. I'm a Mike fan, but I just don't think I don't think it's good for football. And they should be in. You know, I'm sitting there trying to figure out, like Georgia, they hadn't lost in 3 years, and they lose by 3 points, and they don't make it. I don't know. I think they need to take a serious look at how they're evaluating. The good thing is that it's going to 12. And so this is probably the last year you'll have that. But I don't know. I mean, an undefeated team in a Power 5 conference wins their conference championship, and they leave them out, and they use the excuse their quarterback's hurt. No, I don't go for that one.
You know, everybody talks about this. Sandstorm show, that is a great point. He put 1993 FSU went to the Natty with a 1 loss over undefeated Auburn. No one wants to talk about that. It's great that you have Google and you weren't alive during that time, because what was Auburn in 1993? I want you to answer that since you posted that. Why couldn't Auburn win the national championship in 1993, sir? Ma'am, identifier, whatever you are. We've also activated the chat. The call-in, because the chat has reached 100 people. On probation, you fucking idiot. Stop trying to compare stuff. Stop trying to explain it. It's just like Miami fans, which everybody did say was an outrage in 2000, except for the fact that they didn't win. They did not do what was capable. If anything, Sandstrom, your answer should be, why was Florida State selected over West Virginia in 1993? That's what you should do. That's what you should say. What you did was you went to Google and you used your thumbs and you typed, I got them. Ha ha. Hate when people do that shit. Come on, bro. You better than that. Be better than that. Especially when you got show attached to the end of your name. That means you got a show. This is a real sports talk show right here, man. This is what I do 24/7. I be either talking Jags, Florida State, whatever the fuck I want to talk about with sports, man. Don't bring no shit that you could. It's better examples. And on top of that, I will even, you know what? Fuck it. We'll even acknowledge that. That's the problem. During that time, it was a beauty show. You were selected to be the national champions by people's opinions and not what you did on the field, which is why they created the BCS. I'm going to educate you. They created the BCS because of this. And then they said the BCS wasn't doing well enough because there was still only 2. So they created the playoff to avoid this. But again, probation, oh, my bad. You know, that's my fault. I'm assuming you know what the word probation means. Because if you did, you wouldn't have brought that up. So that's cool. We're going to educate you on that. It's not a problem. I'm using my thumbs right here. I'm going to use my thumbs to type in probation definition because words have meanings. The process or period of testing or observing the character of ability of a person in a certain role, for example, a new person, that's one thing. The meaning of being on probation. Being tested and watched to see if one is able to do the job properly for a probationary period, meaning you are in trouble and they want to see how you're being tested and they want to see how you're acclimated. What are the different uses of probation in the NCAA? For example, why James Madison, who was undefeated at one point, could not play in a bowl game because they just entered the NCAA. They're on a probationary period. So while they were undefeated or actually bowl eligible, which unfortunately they weren't able to do that. There's 2 schools that were in that same circumstance, and James Madison was actually ranked in the top 25 at one point. I don't know if they are anymore, but they could not do it because the NCAA wants to see how they behave for 2 years. Probationary period. Miami also happened to be in a probationary period at one point where they couldn't do things. Biggest one, SMU got the death penalty, but then got reinstated. They basically want to see if you know how to behave in order to be able to do that. In 1993, they were on probation. They could not even go to a fucking bowl game. That's what happened. If you knew all of that, you wouldn't have said that. West Virginia would have been the better answer. But whatever. That's why you stay on the whites. Don't become the greenie. If that's the kind of energy and the examples that you bring in over here, we don't want that. We don't want that green energy over here. Like that all memberships ain't good memberships. All jokes aside, again, don't be like the guy from FAMU and get upset about it. Get too upset with me. But I appreciate you in the show. Miles, can we get the I need to put the Bluetooth on this as I said, the call-in thing is activated. Where are we at? Oh, Roadcaster. Make sure it does. All right. So if you want to call in, the number is pinned in the chat. Make sure you call in, come correct, or don't come at all. Please do not come in saying things like a team that's on probation should be. What about that? That's probably not the best way to get what's accomplished. But all that being said, the fallout has happened. Florida State's gone. It's here. Where do we go from here is what me and B-Max said. But the funny thing is to see rivals say, well, Florida State's resume doesn't stack up. A 7-5 University of Miami and a 5-7 University of Florida has fans that say that FSU's resume doesn't stand up. So you're basically blaming us for not playing hard enough teams because we have to play you, one of which we are bound by state law to have to play. The other, we just like to play you because we like you guys. And, it's what we do. But, it just comes into, it gets like, did you hear yourself? Are you listening to yourself speak when it comes to that? Again, Florida State with the fallout, you got Jordan Travis sending tweets saying, I'm sorry I got hurt. Wish I would have got hurt earlier. I hate that bullshit, man. Like that stinks for that young man. Florida State, and that's the main argument everybody's making. Like that Jordan Travis was so good. He was so good that his injury prevented somebody from being in the national championship playoff. The college football invitational. But he's not invited to New York because the Heisman goes to the best player in the nation. If he that motherfucking good that he can change, like y'all just think that these boys are just piss poor garbage, then damn it, he won the Heisman. Hook, line, and sinker. But much like everything else, it's this. Josh Pate continues to put trash takes out here in the world. People say the games don't matter. Josh Pate late kicked Josh. The games did matter. There was never a guarantee the ending would be without controversy just because games got played. Then he states, as it turned out, FSU didn't control their own destiny. And yes, that sucks. But the games absolutely mattered. If they mattered, then you would control your own destiny by winning. It wasn't 5 undefeated teams. That only works when you say there's 5 undefeated Power 5 champions. That's why we have G5. What you did, again, we would call it the College Football Invitational. The Big Ten, the basketball has it every year. Big Ten SEC Challenge. That's what it is. You go look at who's in there. All those teams will be in the Big Ten next year or the SEC. When you look at the top 15 ranked teams, most of those teams will be in the Big Ten or the SEC next year. They just call it the Big Ten SEC Challenge, which is why Florida State wants to get out of the ACC. I really believe so. I believe right now, Florida State's so hot with Boo Corrigan, Jim Phillips, and all these other motherfuckers that there is absolutely no way that they want to just stay in this. And we'll talk about some more things coming up here when you click on the mouse. Again, what about this? What about this? ESPN told, a committee member told this to ESPN. All of us had the emotional tie, like, holy shit, this is really going to suck to do this. We talked about that over and over, and we just kept coming back to, are they good enough with what they have to win a national championship? And it just kept coming back to, we didn't think they could. In an objective sport where you actually play games to win, this is why the NFL will always be better, even though the NCAA has more properties, they have more things that they can do. It's why the NFL makes exponentially more than what NCAA does. And NCAA covers every nook and cranny of the nation because there is this thing, games played matters. That's all it is. You have to play the games, you have to matter. And that's what the job is. But the College Football Invitational will still be, I'm not one of those people that's going to tell you to boycott the College Football Invitational. I like football. And football ain't going to be on for a while after this. So I'm going to watch the Invitational. But I will also probably say that that's a fraud champion. But I would say it would be a hell of a tournament. That'd be, what we can all admit, that's a tough tournament. Don't know if it's a national champion, but to see those teams go in, that's a tough road to hoe, as my guy Greg says. But here's the real fallout, and here's the most interesting thing in the world, and what I would love the take of those in the comments and any listener. I would really love to hear your opinion. Anytime something, because the scale of importance, right, of this is very low to me, even as an alumni. I hurt for the guys. If you click on the fallout, the 247 one is where I'm at. Oh yeah, that we definitely get into that. That's where we get into. Yeah, that video. The video we'll you can just leave that. Because it is a game, it's a very entertaining game, it's a high-end game. We've seen a lot of stuff happen. I've always suggested that sports is, sports is a microcosm of society. Sports is the great equalizer. Sports has drawn and brought more people together than not. Therefore, sports has always been political. The reason why we have the reason why we had desegregation is because of sports. We got a new member. Shout out. So who is that? It's Josh Martin. Shout out to Josh Martin. Appreciate you becoming a member. Where's our number? Look at it. It's on the page. It should be pinned, the pinned tweet. I'm not pinned tweet, excuse me. It's a pinned comment. That's what I put on the Den Media Group thing. It says, like, when you look at the chat, it says we've reached 100. Activate. You got to click on that more than likely. Oh, you know what? My bad. Disregard that. My fault. I didn't put the number on there. I was wondering why y'all ain't call. My bad. There we go. Number's there now. All right. Got you now. When anything becomes, but even during those times, it's always uncomfortable. And when anything becomes uncomfortable, people say, I watch sports to get away from the bad stuff in life. It's my escape. Don't make sports political. Don't make sports political, right? Well, it's always don't make sports political until it's like for you. So my FSU fans that didn't like when Mike Norvell was marching with the guys because of George Floyd. My FSU fans who did not like when FSU guys were talking about police brutality. My football fans who did not like the Colin Kaepernick kneeling, did not like all of these different things. And I heard you because we don't want sports to be political, except for when it's something cool. Like we don't want to hear Black Lives Matter because all lives matter, but we have Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We don't ever say fuck breast cancer. All cancers matter. I'm saying we don't say, do we have a prostate? Am I missing something? Do we have a prostate awareness month? Like this is a bunch of men. It's a bunch of men who watch this game and play the game who will be affected by prostate cancer probably. But we don't ever say, hey man, what the fuck you doing, man? Breast cancer matters more than nah, man, fuck it. Prostate cancer hurts more than breast cancer. You just get your titties chopped off and you ain't got to worry about that. I need my prostate. But to quote a great comedian, damn, I can't think of his name. The white dude, cynical, reminds me of JJ. Married to the black woman. We just talked about him on the show. Nah, not Gary. Gary Owens divorced. Bill Burr. As Bill Burr said, I will admit, like, you know, I don't want to have such heavy topics as I'm drinking my beer with my kid. I will admit that. But my point, I digress. The point I'm getting at is we got politicians jumping in on this shit. And to be honest with you, the only way that sometimes you get the change that you want, and I talked about this on last show, is to have the politicians. But again, it comes back to just like I told you, FSU fans, you know how you feel like you did everything right. You did everything they told you were supposed to do. You were better, 2 times better than the people who they put in front of you. And then everybody called you crazy for thinking that ESPN was against you. Yet, everything proves that ESPN was against you. And then they're still telling you that you're wrong. Like, again, I'm going to use the guy with the show. He'll tell you about, well, remember when it happened to somebody that couldn't even compete for it years ago? One time? When it's happened to you twice. The only time in CFB BCS history has an undefeated conference champion been ranked lower than a one-loss champion was in 2014 to FSU and in 2023 to FSU. It keeps happening to you, but they'll tell you, now remember that time it happened to such and such. That's what some minorities go through every day. Doesn't mean you get to quit. Doesn't mean you get to bitch about it. We're just letting you know that this is what happens. But this is what but you'll tell us not to make it political. Don't make that. Don't change the laws. Just work harder until it benefits you. And this is what Ron DeSantis is doing. I kind of like the anarchy and the hypocritical part so that later on in the future, I can remind you guys that sports is political again. But like, this is what Ron D said.
Now, I would be remiss if I didn't point out that we had one of our schools, Florida State, go undefeated this year and win the conference championship.
His voice is calculated.
And they earned a spot in the college football playoffs. And they were excluded from that, and I think was something that is very, very controversial. Now, I don't know what all goes into that decision making. I know a lot of people have been disappointed. I know the school and the Board of Governors are looking to see, is there anything that can be done? I don't think there would be anything where they could get relief prior to the tournament, obviously, but in terms of going forward, and I don't know if there is. But what we decided to do We're setting aside $1 million for any litigation expenses that may become as a result of this really, really poor decision by the college football playoffs
$1 million
to
for
exclude
any
an
litigation
undefeated team who
expenses
won
that
a
may
Power
become
5 conference championship. And look, I'm as governor, I didn't go to any of the Florida universities, and so I've said from the beginning, I just want us to get back to where Miami, Florida, and Florida State were always competing for the national championship. I want more of our blue chip high school recruits
because the funny thing is one of the groups I'm in said, "Well, can he get us out of the ACC? Can he get us out of playing the University of Florida?" I said, "You want the governor of the state of Florida to make sports political?" No, I don't want to. I'm like, you are asking him, like, just people not even understanding basic civics. Like, they don't even know how laws change. Like, it's literally, again, dead serious. It's state law that Florida and Florida State have to play every year. And it's just like, but I do know that this is how change happens. Protest. First, you have to protest. First, there has to be a public slight, right? We have to see the slight. Then from there, we have to have a public protest. There has to be outrage. Then from there has to be law that is put in place to be able to make any kind of change. It's what's happened in America. Somebody has to be sacrificed. Now, I'll be honest with you. It's going to be great content all year. I know, I've told you guys, I've been very candid on the show. I'm being sued. Cool thing about being sued is this thing called discovery. You get to ask whatever you want. You get to get presented whatever information that you want. So, now the question is, do they have a case? I don't know. Because the real thing about going to court isn't if you are suing somebody based on merit. It's, can you present an argument that there was an infraction or a slight done to you? So let's see what is ESPN and everybody kind of been saying. We got Over Redenbacher talking about this shit. We got a video of that. Like, this is a guy who works for ESPN. This is a guy stating that not based on your merits or what happened on the field, that this could be potentially some get back. My bad. Somebody just called. I apologize if somebody just called. Call right back. Go ahead. Push that play button.
I forget that people
Yeah,
in
that
college
273
athletics
number just
don't
call
like
right
Florida
back.
State. Because people in college athletics, Matt, are collegial people. They try to coalesce. You've heard them say this. You know, we may be enemies on the field.
A variation of a word called collusion.
Let me tell you why they don't like Florida State. Because Florida State did something a couple of months ago that ticked off any conscience-minded person in the sport. They stood up and said, we're too good to be in the ACC. They did it not in private at a booster club meeting. They did it at a board of trustees meeting. And my theory is that may have kept them out, as crazy as that sounds. You don't do that. You don't go outside and take a leak inside, as you know. And I think there's some very like-minded people on that committee that go, why are we going to do them a favor? Now, by the way, I realize that sounds absurd in terms of picking the 4 best teams, but I'm also trying to give you the mindset here of administrators and how they think, and athletic directors. And they go, we're not selling out the biggest program in college football and the biggest name.
Like, no, you see my man's face?
Arguably the biggest brand.
That's did you just say what I think you just said? You even used the word without using the word. Like, you basically you said you used the C word. This is why I always joke with people. Like, sometimes when you talk too much for a living, you talk too much. That's why I tell y'all, it's the song by Tretch. I do the song by Tretch. I do my dirt all by my lonely. I do my dirt all by my lonely. But wow, But there's more to it. Let's see what else we got up there, Miles. I think we have some more audio of ESPN basically saying that we did this on purpose to fuck them. Thought we might have. If we don't, then that's fine. The point is, you don't really have to have a ton. You just need to have something. And where you do find it is you go start looking for the other thing, like the phone calls, the email records, all these different things. And that's where you really get in trouble. It's because people talk too much and people have documentation. They're going to look at phone calls. So if there was a call between Boo Corrigan and such, and somebody from the SEC, why did this phone call get made? Why did this happen? Damn, there's something that another thing, and I was trying to find this. I thought I put it on there, but I didn't. What's interesting, they say that ESPN saved $150 million by putting Alabama in that game. What's also interesting, ESPN and the SEC just reached a landmark deal for $3 billion for the SEC, the new network deal that the SEC has. So is it a scratch your back? Like, again, we're being subjective. We don't know if this was the best opportunity. We don't know if they did everything on the up and up. We have to go this route so that we can find out if they did everything on the up and up. And the craziest thing about this, one thing that billionaires hate more than anything else, is they absolutely hate lawyers snooping around because they're going to fuck with the money. This could get you out of your grant of rights deal. Now, the problem is it gets you out of your grant of rights deal, but where will it land you? More fallback that fan base feels is that Florida State fans only feel is that, oh my God, we didn't play the national championship. Now kids want to leave, without really looking at the entire landscape of college fucking football. If you look at the whole landscape of college fucking football, you know what? People transfer. No shit. Kids opt out of bowls. No. This is where I will tell you that the rivals have every right to keep picking on you. Stop acting like a bunch of pacified pussies and bitches. And it's crazy. So, like, a lot of people are going around saying, oh my goodness, Quayshawn Sapp hit the transfer portal. Show of hands, what play did Quayshawn Sapp make last year? IoT Afasi, he hit the transfer portal. Oh no, he's leaving. This guy can't play for a national championship. Io didn't play. Oh my God, the linebacker that all of us bitched about that we should decide in last year's class, he decided to hit the transfer portal. It's because we didn't get the chance to play in the college football playoff. Oh my God, they're gonna leave. All the players are opting out. Nobody's opting out. CJ Campbell is leaving. Now, I like CJ. CJ Campbell actually did make some plays, but CJ Campbell was the fourth string running back is leaving and he into the transfer portal. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? Marquise and Douglas Biscuit. Oh my God, we have the number one tight end in the nation, and Jaheim Bell might be coming back and then Kyle Murlock is coming back, and I know we're in the deepest position that we have on the football team, and nobody has 10 tight ends, but we had a tight end leave. Oh my goodness, everybody is leaving because we're not playing in the college football playoff. Like, dead the fuck serious. Like, we had a bunch of, no offense, because I like these kids, but we had a bunch of young backups leave. And we're like, oh my God, nobody wants to play. Will we field the team for the bowl game? Oh, shut the fuck up. The hell is wrong with you people? Have you not looked at what now? Ohio State fans should be in full panic mode. Ohio State fans lost. Julian Fleming was the number one wide receiver in the nation last. Now I lose. Now if Akeem Williams leave, oh shit. Hold up now. Hey, hold on. I'm gonna call Ingram. Hey man, what the fuck going on, dog? What the hell's going on? The battle's in, bro. You know what I'm saying? So now, to their credit, There was one little bit of beef that could have been spazzed. That I can see why people were spazzing out. One of our notable players, Patrick Payton, put, FSU fans, I'm hitting the transfer portal. All right. One thing I always tell people, when I panic, you panic. And before I go into that, I want to read, let's forget those. This should be one to read the one with Ingram Smith. That would have been the first tweet on Portal Combat. Ingram tweets out. Ingram has a great podcast, the Nolecast. He's also one of the guys over Battles In. Battles In, since the debacle, has had 900 people subscribe and pay. I don't know what the fuck they pay. Varying degrees of money, but that's really not even how this whole thing works. But I want y'all to join Battles In. Program is in exceptional shape and very well positioned for what is to come. We would never negotiate via social media. You can't live and die with every tweet. That's some of the realest shit that I could tell you. The transfer portal rules in which the NCAA has made has given a short window for kids to be able to hit the portal and be able to transfer without any kind of penalty. Last year, we talked about it on the not even last year. Last April, we talked on the show about a young man by the name of Josh Farmer who decided that he wanted to kind of enter the transfer portal, and he used it as a negotiation tactic. And I will admit to Josh Farmer is an incredible player. I will not get into incredible details about the things that are going on with him. I will say that these young men are getting an opportunity that I wish I had and that I absolutely love for them. They're getting an opportunity to participate in capitalism, one of the foundations of which our great country was built upon. Now, in capitalism, one of the key proponents is the market dictates the terms. Now, what I wish is that people would actually really talk to some of these young men. Because here's the thing. They have a three-way go. They can stay, they can transfer, they can go to the NFL. What NFL rookie minimum is over $800,000 right now. They take taxes out. So let's just say it's 50%. So you'll walk home with you'll probably 450. You'll walk home with 450,000 depending upon where you live, right? Now, your NIL money is a marketing check. It is 100. You get 100% of your money. Now you got to pay taxes on that, but depending upon how you set yourself up as a corporation, write-offs, whole bunch of other shit. Not for to get into that. I am not an accountant. Don't come to me for money advice, but I do know how to set some things up. I gotta tell you, did I tell you what Charleston White said about Deion? He said Deion is such a hypocrite. That's why God took 2 of his toes. It's so terrible. But so there's a couple things though, like as I was saying with this. You can test the portal waters all you want, and you should. It's called free agency. That's the beautiful thing about America and why sports has become so much better is there's competition for who can play in this, but it's a two-way street. And then Ingram made a great point. We will not battle and negotiate through social media. Here's why it's a bad thing to do that. Just like I told you, why are we panicking when there's only people who have hit the portal are a bunch of guys who are backups? Ohio State has had starters hit the portal. Texas A&M has had starters and really high-profile recruits hit the portal. Georgia's got high-profile recruits that are hitting the portal. Every school in the nation will have that. And for the first time in the transfer portal era, we will see a true free agency where every school's top players will be available. Now, where do you truly stand in that? And the number in which you're asking for gets diluted because where there was only 3 or 4 defensive ends last year available, there are 15 to 20 defensive ends available. And they have more years. So that means you could go and get them for numerous times. Like, you don't have to get them for a one-shot thing. On top of the fact that your university has shown that if you're a defensive end and you come to Florida State, you will probably be drafted in the first round, i.e. Jermaine Johnson, and look at where Jared Verse is on every draft board right now. Brandon Fisk will probably be a second-round draft pick at minimum. What they have shown you is we know how to use this goddamn portal. So in negotiate, as I always tell my people, you always negotiate from a point of leverage. And in that, you must ask yourself, what do I need? Especially if you're this close to the NFL, because I'm going to enlighten you guys on something that no other people can do, because I literally cover the combine every year. I don't just cover an NFL team. I cover the combine every year. I get a chance to talk to, I know a lot of people, because the NFL is this thing. It's a fraternity. It is a real fraternity where they go and everybody who's in there, they talk to each other, they ask questions. The NFL gets more information on you than you have on yourself. These guys knew more about me than I knew about myself. They called the principal of the first middle school I went to, like retired like 2 or 3 years after I was done. I was 11 years old. They went back and asked the lady about some sixth grade knucklehead, what his character was like. So I say that to say this. The person who, and I used to tell the guys who play with Tag, Tag sucks. Tag does this. I was like, dog, you about to get ready to go to the NFL. Chill on that. Tag is a Harbaugh. Harbaugh is NFL royalty. You ever wonder what because some of those guys were really good enough to play for a long time in the league, to at least get some tea and crumpets. Or as I like to say, when I was new, I got coffee and beignets. They're going to come back and ask the coach, who is this guy and what was he like to coach? And if they say, man, he was a phenomenal player until the business came into it. Ooh. One thing that they don't like, they don't mind the business side of it when it's time for contract renegotiations. That happens. But what they don't want is somebody who is going to allow outside noise fuck up the congruency, the continuity of the locker room. I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know. So each time, hold on one second. Let's see here. Hello? Okay, cool. You try to get on the show? All right, hold on one second. Miles, you got that thing ready? All right. Give me 1 second, Marcus. The continuity of the locker room. So if you're going to go and bitch every time you feel like somebody else is getting paid more than you, they're going to put that as a knock. And in the draft, they're looking for every reason to knock you. You're fucking, to get a bag today, you're fucking up the bag tomorrow. And for some of these guys who are making this stink and this noise, it's literally a few months away for you. And for the numbers that I heard, if you feel you're worth that much money, God bless. Go get it. But I would tell you it's more guaranteed in the draft. But a lot of guys have heard promises and haven't gotten what they were promised. See Derek McClendon. You see everybody who left Florida State for a bag and see what their careers look like when they left for the bag. And I'd argue that they didn't get it back. What's going on, man? Say your name again, please, and what you got going on, brother. Is he talking? I can't hear him. Oh, I wonder if it's. Yeah, I'm connected. Say it. Hello? Can you hear him off? All right, hold on. My bad. We couldn't hear. I'm gonna put you on speaker. Say it again. Start over again. Sorry. Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on the call, man. I was trying to get on the other day, but I'm just frustrated with the whole situation. And I actually coached 8th and 9th grade football, and I've never heard of a team going undefeated under any circumstance and not making a playoff. It's just, it goes against the integrity and what you teach kids, and football is supposed to be about life lessons, and it's just not right. I don't understand. It just doesn't make any. There's no logic behind it. If Alabama had lost Jalen Milroe, they would have still been in the playoffs. I don't buy that argument.
Agreed. I would. You're right. I'm gonna start off with that. You're 100% right. It does go against everything that we teach kids and everything that we talk about when it comes to sport. But sports are to teach life lessons. And my only pushback is that there is a life lesson in that, and it's a shitty one. It stinks. I am the first to admit it. But there are times when you win and you do everything right in life, and it still doesn't go your way. And that's the unfortunate thing that happened right now with Florida State. That's the only life lesson that you can teach somebody. And it's a terrible one to have to tell somebody, but that is the truth. But what you got to teach them, though, is that it can't discourage you from trying to become a winner and still do everything the right way. It's any kind of flaw when there's a human involved in it. And it's unfortunate. It should stink and it should hurt. Now, the one thing I will say is that everybody, while people are trying to say that, you know, you didn't deserve this or blah, 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 I always tell people, and this is the thing that's crazy, and what I would tell people in other life situations when, like, you would see somebody get, you know, killed, or you see somebody if it can happen to one person, it can happen to any and all of us. And that's the thing that I think a lot of people got to take away from this, is that we have to speak on the wrong. We have to speak on the injustice, because just like it's happening in Florida State, I was telling my Miami fans, it's probably never going to happen to them because they'll probably never be able to be in that situation. Like, they ain't won in quite some time. But if it happened to us, it can happen to you. And that's where it comes. That's really where it comes down to. So, I mean, it stinks. There's no real way to sunshine pump it and spin it around, but it's one of those things. The only cool thing that I say about all of this, and this is why this will forever and always be the main thing for guys who go to college. The goal is to get to the NFL. Winning a national championship is a goal, but it's not the goal. Because, you know, you want to change your money. And right now, Florida State will probably have 10 guys or more get drafted. So, you know, if the goal was to get an education and just be able to brag about how many championships you won, as I tell Miami fans this, Harvard, Yale, Brown, they all have more championships than all of us and a much better education. But I appreciate you calling in, bro.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me on.
No doubt. Didn't get the Wi-Fi part, not Wi-Fi, the Bluetooth working, but that's why God made speakerphones. So try connecting again. All right. But my point into all of the stuff that we were talking about before is that, and my boy Grimes says this a lot, all money ain't good money. And you just have to ask yourself, like, if it were my son or if it were me, I always operate from a point of leverage. And it's and then they may truly feel like that. If they got FU money, then they got FU money. Like, the only thing I'm ever concerned about is, are my bills paid by ×3. Once I get to that point of position, I start moving a real lot more fluid and more freely. And I try never to let my expenses go higher than that. And, you know, you just move forward and you move accordingly. So, but to those young men, I hope it works out. But as my guy Ingram said everything is going to be good. So we still got a little bit more time left, and we can do something. Wait a minute, what does that say on the show right there, Miles? Hour and 9. So we'll go a little bit longer. If you want to call in, call in. Have no problem. The number is on the pinned tweet. Appreciate everybody coming in. If you would take the time to please go and like the pod, subscribe, do all these different things like that. NFL is a crazy. Oh, but I'm going to say this, and then I'll finish on the portal talk. And this is, again, to any fan of any university that's complaining and crying about kids exercising their rights. One of my mentors is a guy by the name, a Hall of Fame coach. His name is Kevin Sullivan. And I quote tweeted this off of a guy who I grew to love because of how seminal his son was and his family was. And that's Rob DeLoach. And anybody who knows me, we know I call Kalen nephew because I can't call him. I feel he has a very active father, so I ain't gonna call him son, and I can't call him little bro because I'm too old. I got a daughter that's older than him, or no, that's the same age as him. But DeLoach put FSU football history, 1954 to current. The games will continue to get played. And I remember as a young coach, my mentor, Kevin Sullivan, he coached Leon Washington. He's a Hall of Fame coach in the state of Florida. Anybody who's dealt with high school coaches, you've dealt with high school coaching, you deal with transfer portal all the time. Kids leave, go to other schools all the time. And we had a kid who, we had about 4 guys leave to go to better schools. And I said, Coach, man, this is hurt, man. We got all these kids we poured into. And Coach looked at me and said, James, we can't cancel the season. Games got to get played, and we got to coach them up. That's why I joke with my running backs now and say, there's 3 things certain in life: death, taxes, and James Coleman having a running back that's going to rush for over 1,000 yards. Said, I don't give a fuck what any of y'all do. You can leave. I might find somebody to replace you. But one thing I know for certain is we're going to have a 1,000-yard running back next year. I got 2 of them right now, but the games will get played. Anybody can be replaced. Hold on one second. Hey, Lisa, what's up? You calling to be on my show, or you just calling me? Okay, hold on one second. All right. I ain't know. Just making sure. This is.
You know I love you.
All right, you're on now, Lisa. Yes, I hear it now. Lisa, what's up?
I know we're all pissed. Don't know how to football. We need to support our guys more than ever.
You said we need to support
and I
our
think
guys.
they know that. I know we're all mad, hurt, pissed off, but people sitting there saying they're not going to go to the ball game, they're not going to do this. That's not what our guys need.
You're right. Well, y'all already started off by not showing up to the ACC championship in full force. So y'all started this again. So, thank you for calling in, Lisa. That's why I was saying, people like FSU fans we're the wildest fan base ever. We're the only fan base that says everything that everybody else says and then gets mad when other people say it. Like everything that the national pundits are saying, y'all been saying all year and been wrong. And they're not. I'm not gonna go to Miami because the players aren't. They're gonna opt out. Yeah, it's winning in Charlotte. I got news for you. It's a lot cheaper in Charlotte than it is in Miami. And again, I wish I could. I enjoy Florida State as a fan through my son. And I know a lot of people don't know what that means, but here's the reason why. My son don't give a fuck about none of that. He hurt that they didn't go to the national championship, but he's grateful to see Florida State play in Miami. His first comment was, Dad, do I still get to go to the bowl game? Like if I make my good grades, if I do what I was supposed to do. It's mindset. You're spoiled. That's the reason why your mindset's fucked up. And what's crazy is your worst type of spoiled person. You're a spoiled person who ain't had shit. Like we've tasted poverty in the bottom. And we had never tasted that before because we had 40 straight winning seasons, 36 consecutive bowl games we went to. And then you didn't get a chance to go to a bowl game. And then you were in 3 bowl games in 6 years. And a lot of y'all didn't go to the bowl game last year like you should have. And it was in fucking Orlando. I got news for you. The Orange Bowl is fun. You know how I know the Orange Bowl is fun? Been there twice. Played in 2 of them. Got 2 sets of Orange Bowl dominoes. I thought that was a cool gift. I like dominoes. Stayed in the ball. First time I stayed in the Ball Harbor Sheridan. I remember it. It was such a phenomenal hotel.
Unknown caller.
Got somebody from North Carolina calling. Hold on. Hello? Hey, what's going on? You trying to get on? All right, hold on. Can you hear me? Miles, is somebody talking? Say it again. Oh, there we go. State your name. What's up, baby?
Andre.
You live? Go ahead, baby.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Now, I was just talking a little bit right now, man. Calm down. You worry about transfers. You worry about certain people wanting money. Some will leave. Some will come. We will be fine. Listen, yeah, y'all was worried about the night took over that team, whatever, the mix and all that, whatever. Hey, we still rolling. Just calm down, whatever. But I will suggest we need to get together and see if we can fire Jim Phillips there and hire somebody else in there. Put T.A. Brewster in there. Somebody, anybody but Jim Phillips.
We need to get together and fire who?
Jim Phillips, ACC
commissioner. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Fucking spot. No, you know what? No, fuck Jim Phillips. Keep him. I don't want to be in the Atlantic Coast Conference. They could be miserable together.
Listen, I don't want us to be in there no more. I'm right here in Winston State, in the heart of ACC. But after that shit, I'm ready to bounce with y'all. But I want to find that motherfucker anyway.
Yeah. But appreciate you, bro. Appreciate the call in, dog.
I know.
Yeah, fuck the ACC and fuck Jim Phillips with Magic's dick. I don't want to be specific. I want him to get the HIV. Oh shit.
You know how I feel around my dad? You feel around my dad? That's how I feel around our colors. You understand them perfectly. I'm like, God,
not perfectly. I understand Lisa because I'm around Lisa a lot. That one right there was a little tough because I think it was the cell phone coverage. But yeah, I don't know what the fuck your dad be saying sometimes, Miles. It's not even
Unknown
Spanish.
caller.
Oh shit! Make sure this ain't a bill collector. Hello. Hey, what's up? You trying to get on? All right, hold on. Damn, we got everybody calling in now. All right, go ahead, baby. Let the people know who this is.
Hey, this is Luis. ¿Qué pasa, primo?
Oh, what's up? What's up? This is on Primo.
Yeah, it's a Panamanian primo.
We were just talking about Panamanians, and I don't understand what Miles. If you don't understand him, then you're not really Panamanian. Go ahead, brother.
See, I've been in the States long enough to sound pretty gringo, so I sound pretty American. I got a little bit of an accent. I'm good. Plus, I'm in Oklahoma. Ain't nobody speaking Spanish up here. But no, man, I just wanted to say basically hit them up, Tupac. Just F everybody, F the clip, F everything they're doing to us. But hey, we just got to be Knowles, man. We got to rise above it and just keep trying to kick ass, and we'll be all right. But everybody just needs to chill out, man. On Twitter, everything's going crazy. People just scared to lose commit, scared to lose players. I think Mike's showing over and over again that he's got it. So I think we just got to trust the process. But I just wanted to come in and say hello, man. And just one last thing you were talking about, man. Let's be grateful to all those that live in Florida. If you can go to the game, go to the game. I'm all the way up here in Oklahoma. I'm looking at plane tickets. It's $600 a piece to get down there, and I'm just like, man. So I may try anyway, but just FYI.
You're right. That's a good point. That's great perspective, man. Appreciate you, Primo. Next time we get over 100, make
Yeah,
sure you
man.
keep,
We'll talk
keep
later
calling.
on. Y'all take care.
All right. Yeah, that's my perspective on it. Like, same thing as his. Like, I live in Florida. Like, even though Miami's like, it's actually an easier drive to get to Charlotte than it is to get to Miami, technically, but it's like still in Florida. I mean, just make it happen, man. Absolutely. I mean, and then like the not playing part, I'll tell you why I always err on the side of playing. Same reason I err on the side. I tell people don't do that dumb shit with people. The only people who tell you act like you've been there before are the people who either are there still or ain't never been there before. If I would have known my last touchdown would have been in the Orange Bowl, I would have celebrated. I'd have done a backflip. I'd have done everything. I ain't scored a touchdown since 2005. Excuse me, 06. I apologize. Oh, did we play before the? I forgot that year. That year we might have played before the New Year. But bottom line is, it's a long time ago. I thought I was going to score more touchdowns in my life. You never know if this could be, again, it could all be over. It could go like what one of these hating ass people just commented saying, watch Clemson run the table in your division next year. It could go right back to that. No, Miami gets a chance to play. They got to go. See, the crazy thing is, imagine we could be Miami fans playing Rutgers in the P Diddy Bad Boys for Life Bowl. When it's actually cold. Like, you know how everybody, I don't want to be in the Big Ten because it's cold. Nah, bitch, it ain't cold like that in November, bitch. It is cold in December and January. They gonna be out there freezing. And we're going to be on they beach with they bitches. You know how cool it's going to be to have, because this is what happens to at bowl games. So you get these, they fly you a Florida boy. They tell you to find your own way there so they can give you more money, right? So you go down there and they have these buses, the charter buses, and it's wrapped with your logo, your school all over it. So Florida State gets to be in Miami for a whole week and show how much they run the city of Miami. And they take you every place. So every Miami fan has to see Florida State. And you in your warm-ups. So they know you there. They see you styling, profiling, getting down. My boy Krypton Barron, who is who is a Florida fan, has a good point. We could be Florida fans. Could be watching it from nowhere. Watching it from TV. We don't feel sorry for you guys either. You're not in anything. Like VLC Plus, we don't feel sorry for you not making the playoffs. Like I feel sorry for you feeling like you're gonna be back every year. Like it's such a like, I mean, because what's crazy is you were good at one point. You were an amazing program at one point. But all you're reduced to is looking at little boys in recruiting rankings and getting your ass whooped by your rival. And you know there's not a goddamn thing that you could do to ever get better. Like, you'll never be in this position to miss actually, every year you'll miss the playoffs. My bad. You can't even, you would never be in this position. Ever. You'll probably end up firing your coach in 2 years. You'll hire somebody, you'll lie about how this guy's going to bring you back to fruition. When the reality of the situation is you probably weren't even alive, or at least you weren't even potty trained to be able to enjoy the actual majority of the championships that you won. And the best collection of talent you ever had, you only won one. That's sad. That's what you should. That's why y'all cry. It's really again, low T, high E. Like, it's very passive aggressive of you. Like, very passive aggressive. We couldn't beat you on the field, but we hope somebody else beats you. Like, that ain't getting you the pussy, bro. I can't get the pussy, so I'm glad you didn't get it. No, that's not helping you. That's not helping. I know down, but then again, my bad. I apologize. That's me. I took classes as a coach. How dare me actually assume that you get pussy? You might like something else. But either way, because you are down in South Beach, and you know South Beach is, we know. And you actually had a player there, Chance, that, you know, if you're in Miami, we know Chance. You know what Chance was like. Like, I mean, do you know? Might be why y'all was having some internal conflict. Sometimes one of the things that derails a lot of female basketball teams is dating. The teammates will date each other, and then they'll break up, and now all of a sudden they're not doing anything. So that might be the problem with your program. That's not facetious. That's not a joke. You actually do have somebody. Or did, excuse me, he's in the transfer portal now. So probably there's gonna be some broken hearts that like boys, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, do your thing. They like boys. He was LGBTQBTCVY. Chance Williams, good player, good kid, good young man from out of Orange Park area. But like, it doesn't matter. My bad. I'm just giving. I mean, I really wish they were good. And I have some guys on that coach on that staff. It's embarrassing because like they just can't get better. But shout out. Yeah, we actually won a national championship in football. Our girls won. Our girls are badass, man. But yeah, so Grill Master is right. It does mean less. Matter of fact, fuck Miami. I think Miami sucked on purpose. Now that I think about it, Mario Cristobal didn't take that knee on purpose against Georgia Tech. Because he knew if we beat a Miami team that could actually beat average teams, they would be ranked. And then when we whoop their ass, it would help us become. That's some 4D chess right there, man. I'm trying to think like a Miami fan. Ha, gotcha. If I couldn't win, then you can win. That makes me a winner. Puss ass. Fuck boy. That's a damn shame. Again, y'all went from being badasses wearing fatigues and shit to I didn't win, so you can't win either. RJ Young looking ass motherfucker. Hey. Oh, sassy ass South Beach ass motherfucker. Can't tell if you Hispanic or gay ass motherfucker. Don't like one of them questions. Ashy ass, trophy ass motherfucker, Lord of the Rings having ass motherfucker. Can't watch any of your national championships on DVD ass motherfucker. Sports Illustrated was actually a real magazine when you won your last championship having ass motherfucker. Dingy ass penny loafer Cuban ass coach having motherfucker. Midget ass offensive line coach. Damn shame. Anyways, you'll be able to watch us down there in Miami. So, your football game ain't even gonna be on ESPN. Shit gonna be watched on Tubi ass having motherfuckers. Gotta stream the game to watch it. Your game gonna be showed on if you're from Miami, I know you know this. Your game gonna be showed on the box. That's the only way you're gonna be able to watch that shit. Oh yeah. Old batty boy ass boy. Fruit on the bottom ass boy. Gonna drink almond milk. You drink almond's milk, huh? You want almond milk? Do you hear this, man? You hear this batty boy? What the blood clot? The man say he want almond's milk. One of the funniest things. Oh man. Oh. Them boys gonna really get beat by Rutgers. By their old DC. When they were good. No, it was good. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, that motherfucker good coach. Should have been Tennessee's coach. But he was, oh shit, I didn't even realize that motherfucker was a part of. So the reason why, so he was the former DC at Miami, went to Rutgers the first time, made Rutgers really good, went to go coach the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the NFL. He's had a lot of stops, but then the Penn State scandal came out, and he was in the Penn State scandal when they was playing with the little boys. So y'all about to get beat by a man who is in an investigation about being a batty boy. But you want to come on me podcast and come talk me shit. Go drink you some coffee. Go drink your coffee con leche with the almonds milk in it. Fake ass tough guys can't beat shit. And I actually like Miami more than I like Florida. But anyways, though, long story short, I got to get to this. I can't not talk about Deion. So let's go to the next thing. I was feeling sorry for Deion. Deion had two things that done, and I absolutely hate Jason Whitlock. Like, with a passion. Like, I see Jason Whitlock, I'm fucking him up on sight. Deion lost his bitch, man. And it's always get your girl back season unless you're Deion. Like, you can't, like, she did not stay 10 toes down with him. She didn't even stay 8 toes down. She had 7. And she fine. Babyface's ex-wife. And what's crazy is, and the cool thing is, Deion doesn't have to get another divorce because it was his living girlfriend, which is what all Christians say they hate. But this is what Jason Whitlock did, and this was making me feel bad for him. And he went and got the softest mixed kid that he could find to talk about this. And this is where I hated this for Deion, and then I'll tell you what made me go back to my hatred for Deion. But like, this was pure fuckery by Jason Whitlock, if I can admit. This was some true fuckboy shit that Jason Whitlock did. And this is what he does. And par for the course, I think Jason Whitlock is a Miami fan, but it makes sense. But go ahead, play that truth bomb, if you will.
I do want to go a cut deeper or a little different angle with you, Owen.
Shout out. I would say his barber has stepped his game up a little.
It's not just the
it's a lot better than
believer
it used to
with
be.
Deion.
Joe Taylor needs his barber.
Deion has this race narrative that, he's doing this for the upliftment of Black people. And I don't know what the audience can know, but Owen is one of our African-American brothers. He's half Black, half white. And I'm just wondering for you if the whole racial angle
Hold on, my man, pause.
Deion,
This is what y'all were saying? Kevin Knowles is hitting the portal? Ooh. Oh. You can't tell me my God ain't good. Number 3 is the only reason that Miami scored that touchdown. It got all them yards. Whew. The only thing could be better is if 3 goes back to Miami. Like, please, I'm a bad. Go ahead and play. I didn't realize that's what the chat was talking about.
He was allegedly going to do for Black coaches and Black athletes. Is that any part of your disappointment or any part of how you evaluated Deion?
Absolutely. I mean, like you said, I'm African-American, half Black, half white. And I'm super close with my dad now. But when I grew up as a kid, it was just my mom and I. He wasn't really around. And
Dad wanted to hang out with Deion.
I was kind of longing for that father figure, especially in a coach. That's such a easy position for a young person to look up to and depend on. And
Can I just pause real quick? I want to admit, if he didn't tell me, I wouldn't know. And that's cool. But just so people know, African-American males are not monoliths. Yeah. So this is just as much. He is completely right. That's what he is. He actually, they're talking about Corey Mangrum in the chat, the guy who played at Florida State. He is the complexion of Corey Mangrum, one of my former teammates. But go ahead, push play.
He talked about how he wants kids from single mom households and he wants young Black men and things like this. And I was really, really excited because I thought that I was going to have a chance to basically have a discipleship underneath one of the greatest athletes of all time. I thought he was going to come in and mentor me and kind of take me under his wing because he wanted to see people like me who grew up with their mom and are of African-American descent. He wanted to see them excel, and then to be ignored and eventually dismissed hurt. But I mean, I can't speak to why he did it. So I just have to respect that he did.
Basically, yes. So why I don't feel bad for this kid is that if you're going to college to find your daddy, yeah, that may happen at lower levels, but it ain't happening at this level. The person who's most like your parent is your position coach. So unless he played corner, that was never going to happen. And I think that's unfair to Deion, like to say that Deion's going to be your father figure. Now, Deion sells this shit, but he's a crock of shit.
That's what I'm saying.
I told people, like, but it's not just Deion on this.
Yeah,
all coaches, they're not going to be your father figure. There's not enough time in the day. Like,
what type of man sells father figure and then does it though? That's not a good thing. We normalize that being, oh, it's just part of the game. That's bad stuff, man.
That's true.
And then, Deion's always in public with it, so I'm happy that it gets reversed on him. You know what I'm saying? Keep some of your shit private. Maybe your kids won't do the same shit they learned that from you, daddy.
That part. But like, just so as a parent, so people can realize, I don't like when people pick on Nick Cannon, they pick on all these people with all these kids because they got a lot of kids. But I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. Nick Cannon might have the best parental situation for his kids. And I know it doesn't sound optimal, right? But like, let's be real. I don't know how Big Daddy had enough time for 10 kids. I don't have enough time for 2 that currently live with me. Like, the younger one gonna do what the older one do. And that's just how it's gonna roll. We ain't got enough time. It's only 24 hours a day. And you still gotta spend time with yourself. You gotta work, you gotta provide, you gotta feed these kids. At least Nick Cannon's kids get one parent. And then he just provides and he spends the time that he can with them. Like, now, I say that to say this. There are 85 scholarship players on the football team. There are 120 for most when you add the walk-ons. There is no way that even a single man with no kids can have enough energy or time to spend adequately with 120 people. At best, the coach is your role model based upon what you know afar. Your coaches, however, it's a segment coach. So you spend more intimate time with your coach. So like, I was feeling bad for Deion. But then Deion said that Alabama should be in the college football playoff. And then it was fuck Deion. I hope you lose another toe. And that's why your bitch left you. And that's why your bitch left you. I hope she writes a tell-all book. It says that you're secretly friends with Puff Daddy. And you still listen to I listen to R. Kelly music too, but whatever. I mean, R. Kelly's music is good. I don't give a damn what anybody says.
April Johnson.
Oh, this is business. Hey, what's up? I'm finishing up recording. You good? All right, that works. All right, bye. All right, bye. Anyways, yeah, we done. If Deion was at FSU, we wouldn't. You know what? If Deion was at FSU, we wouldn't be in this situation.
Oh no, don't do that.
We wouldn't be in the college football playoff discussion. We would be 4-8.
That's what Stephen A. thinks.
Like, let's just keep coming to this. Not that we're doing. Not as Julian Arch said that shit. First off, Julio, fuck Deion with magic stick. And secondly, before you go into this, yes, Deion is one of the greatest players to ever play at Florida State. Deion Sanders is the greatest cornerback to ever played in the NFL. All of that shit is true. Just like me saying fuck Deion, and Deion is a fuck boy, and Deion cares about nobody but Deion Sanders. The minute that you fucking, like, he is not going to let you fuck. I promise you that. He is not going to let you fuck. Like, Florida State would be like, Florida State, like, so with Stephen A. Smith, who again is a talking piece, who does not understand timelines. Deion Sanders was not qualified to coach in the state of Florida, not just a college coach, to be a head coach in the state of Florida. Not because he wasn't good, it's because he did not have a college degree. You have to have a college degree to be the head coach, not a coach, the head coach. So he could not get that. So that's why he went to Jackson State. Jackson, he went and got his however he got his degree, whether he paid for it, he did not pay for it. He went to Talladega Nights College and got his degree from Talladega Nights College. Talladega Nights College gave him that, but at that time, we did this thing called hire a guy by the name of Mike Norvell. It took him some time to be able to get prepared for what he needed to do. Now, he did what he needed to do and what was necessary, but it wasn't enough time to hire him, like what was needed. Jackson State gave him an opportunity, and he won at Jackson State at an HBCU that I don't know if anybody recognizes this. They don't have teams full of Power 5 talent. Deion was able to use his charismatic nature to be able to pull in top transfers and bag the number one prospect in the nation in Travis Hunter. And I believe he was the top wide receiver in that class, but don't quote me, but he was a 5-star in Coleman. I think it was Kevin Coleman. Don't forgive me if I'm wrong. Out of St. Louis, currently plays for the Louisville Cardinals. Deion went on to go to a championship, to what I call the Chitlins Bowl or the Potato Salad Bowl, as I've said it lovingly. And you know what happened when Deion met people who were not in awe and did not give a fuck about Deion Sanders? He got his ass whooped. He got beat by North Carolina Central one year, and then I forgot who he got beat by. Oh, South Carolina State the next year, with teams that did not have anywhere near the amount of talent that he had, but had better coaching. Deion took his talents to Colorado, where he went on to get rid of damn near the entire football program and used the transfer portal in an effective manner to hand select the team that he wants. I think we did it a couple shows ago where we actually went through the R-Lads roster and showed everybody most of that team, at least their starters on offense and defense. I would argue to say a minimum 90% of his two deep on offense and defense are first-year players to the Colorado program, whether they're transfers or they're freshmen that he brought in. Two of the offensive linemen that started for Colorado were on Colorado's offensive line last year. One was at Florida State that transferred out, and another one was at UCLA. I would argue that if those two guys stayed, Colorado would have been better. Now, he won more games than anybody anticipated. He beat TCU, who we see was overrated, but he beat them. Nonetheless, probably shouldn't have beat them. He beat Colorado State by luck because Colorado State coach did not coach very well toward the end of that game. He beat Nebraska, who did not have a functioning quarterback, but he beat Nebraska nonetheless. And I'm trying to remember the fourth one. Oh, Arizona State, when you shouldn't have beat Arizona State, and Dillingham is in a similar situation. Nonetheless, you won 4 games and you lost 8. But Deion Sanders is more than a good coach. Deion Sanders, again, I believe should be Father of the Year. I have never seen the only person, and I don't know if that's a work of fiction or not, the only person who loved their son. No, actually, my bad. He sent his son to die for our sins. So I can't even say God loved Jesus as much as Deion loves Shadur. Deion Sanders has ruined the lives of many young men just to prove that his son is a Power 5 quarterback. Deion Sanders wanted to prove that Shadur was better than what everybody else said he was, so he went and sacrificed his career and the careers of others to prove that his son is a Power 5 quarterback. And when his son is gone, he will be gone as well. There's nothing that Deion Sanders has shown you to prove that he is about anybody other than Neon Primetime. He would have brought his own staff. And let's just talk about this. So Deion Sanders, in his first time having an unlimited budget, and I want to say that because he hired some of his coaches make what Florida State staff coaches make. Deion Sanders hired Charles Xavier Kelly to be his defensive coordinator. That man would have brought Charles Xavier Kelly back to Florida State. If you're a Florida State fan, you remember what life was like with Charles Xavier Kelly as your defensive coordinator. That is who he decided to bring as his defensive coordinator. He made a conscious choice. He was not waterboarded. He was not forced, nor was he tortured. He brought him in. That alone is an indictment of his ability to hire coaches. Y'all hated on Adam Fuller all year. We as a fan base collectively hate Kelly. We remember those days. It was the worst of times. Like, Jimbo Fisher's tenure at Florida State is basically what's that movie? What's that book? I forgot. I can't even think. If it was the best of times, it was the worst of times.
I hate that we have to position ourselves like this because it's like you hate Deion, but it's like we want him to succeed, but y'all don't tell the truth about
Yeah,
it.
I mean, like as a black coach, I want him to be successful.
Yeah.
Personally, I have my reasons. I've documented it numerous times on this show why I don't care for Deion Sanders. I don't need to get back into it, but I want him to be successful as a black coach because I know what that means. That being said, I will not lie because you are a black coach. You don't care about anybody. If you don't, fuck it. Don't believe me. Believe what he did to Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter literally was bleeding internally. His spleen was out. Them motherfuckers put his ass back in the game. And then he took a couple weeks off. They didn't say, you know what, Travis, we're going to wean you back into the process. They went immediately to letting him play 140, 160, 200 snap games. Coming off of a spleen, or coming off of bleeding internally. That man was getting his ass blown the fuck out. The reason why everybody wants Cam Ward right now is because of Deion Sanders. That's the time, you know what, bro? You know what, Travis? You're like a second son to me. I'm gonna let you sit out real quick. Don't worry about it. Puts him in the game, and Travis, being the competitor that he is, tries to go get a ball and fucking hurts himself again. Travis is going to be like the fine chick in high school that has 5 kids and now she wants to date you. Ran through, beat up, and tattered down by the time the NFL comes calling. And that is a goddamn shame. All so that his son could have been a starting quarterback at a Power 5 school.
I think he's good enough, though.
Oh, I think he would have been. Hell no, yeah, I'm not excited. I think Shedeur with a better offensive line would be a 7 to 8 win a year quarterback. But that's not going to happen at Colorado. And the times that he faced true, really good defenses, they got folded. And it's not his fault that they're subpar. It's his daddy's fault. This is the epitome of daddy ball.
Yeah, people keep blaming the O-line.
Who picked them? Deion didn't have any talent. That's why they suck. Deion literally picked the team. He went into, we saw it. It's documented. It's on YouTube. Walked in the room, said, all y'all are basically fired. I'm bringing in my own furniture. Like, y'all saw, like, it's crazy. You saw this shit. It's documented. And y'all still argue about it. He just needs more time for what? Like, I don't care. I'm not asking Colorado to fire him at all. Like, but when people say Deion should be at Florida State, Deion wouldn't go. Deion, this is for folks to, I don't think people understand how hard it is to go 13-0. It's so hard that only 4 Florida State teams have ever done it. It's so hard that in over 100 years of playing football at the University of Florida, you know how many times they've gone undefeated? Zilch. I think Miami's only done it once. Tebow lost 1 game. Each one of those. Each one of those national championships. So forgive me for not believing that in Deion. Like, he don't even believe. His wife don't even, well, his living girlfriend don't even believe. She out of there. He don't believe. It's 13-0 with no playoffs. We wouldn't have gotten to the playoffs with Deion. We wouldn't have been in that position to be there. That's the whole point. I know it's hard. I know you didn't pass the FCAT. And I know reading comprehension in America is on the 4th grade level. I get that. You're proving this. Yeah. It's not, yeah, I mean, it doesn't even matter. Like, the coach didn't, the only coach, there's only one coach in America who has the influence to be able to get his team in there. That motherfucker won a lot of games to be able to do that. I would be, the only concession I'll make in that is that it's Nick Saban in Alabama. And I actually do believe Nick Saban can win the college football invitational. That motherfucker can coach. Ain't nobody doubting that Nick Saban runs college football. He is that man. When they say he is him, he is him.
I mean, people are scared to insult Saban.
Yeah, they definitely are. But yeah, I mean, Saban writes the rules, man. That's true. I wish I knew who. Yeah. Anyways, man. Paris Jackson put a simple point. Prime did have two really good wide receivers. The kid from South Florida that followed him up there was good. Travis Hunter was really, really good. Actually, my bad, 3. I forgot the other one's name. But it was they were pretty good. Just Shadur is a one read kind of guy. But anyways, at the end of the day, if you're I want people to realize this. Again, this is me caring about your manhood. 13-0 and no college football invitational, still 13-0. You're not in it either. Like I don't think people realize that that's not the troll that you want. I don't get that. That don't sting the way people think it should sting. Only one team wins the national championship every year. So what does that say? Service dog. Even the dog calls you even the dog smell bitch with that 13-0 comment. But I can't even read it. What does it say?
His read is where's Travis Hunter?
That's it. Like, motherfuckers love saying Deion at FSU, but like, would you take Deion at your school?
And then we're trying to build. You can't trust Deion to stay.
Deion not gonna be here after Shadur. Deion went from the blackest place on earth saying I'm here because God sent me here and God told me to uplift the black people and let my people go and take them from Egypt and bring them into Israel and all that other whatever fucking Christian pseudo science that he fucking told these people to leave on the first thing to go to the whitest place in America. Like Deion care about nobody. The craziest thing is what people don't even realize. Deion could have graduated from Florida State if he just went to fucking class. Like imagine that. And he mad at Florida State because he didn't go to class. I still one of the greatest players ever played there. Shit, I'll tell my son if he played corner, play like Deion. Everything else, I want to be like that. I like all 10 of my toes. And also I will say this. I can't wait for those shoes to come out. Hopefully they will be able to fit my feet. They make it to his feet a little bit different. One of the greatest shoes, football shoes that ever come out. I also happen to like Must Be the Money. It's one of my favorite guilty pleasure songs. Guilty pleasure song. So I mean, but I want to let everybody know. And if we make this a cut, I'm concerned. Deion not gonna let you beat, bro. Like he not gonna let you beat. All that stuff that y'all be saying that ain't true. That I know you can't believe to your core. He's not gonna let you fuck, dog. He's a Christian, so he won't let a man fuck, but he'll fuck as many women as he can. I don't know, that doesn't make sense, but a lot of things that happens with Christianity doesn't make sense. But I'll leave y'all like that, man. But outside of that, world turns. Support your respective alma maters. Shout out to everybody going to a bowl game. Shout out to everybody living their best life. We will see you guys. Damn, that man did say that. My bad. This guy, we gotta put this comment up there. I don't even know how you say that, Hayes. Kumazi Hayes. It's tough to say Umar and Jason Whitlock in the same
company you're in.
Like,
You are.
fuck.
I noticed I separate myself from that.
Oh, I didn't even see you. Damn it. My bad, Deion. I'm sorry, Prom. I might have to change my stances now. God damn it. I fuck with Umar on something, but I also see through him. He's not a full charlatan, but he's kind of becoming what we think the Charleston White is gonna be. Like we were talking about. Like the thing that he hates, he's becoming. Like you're becoming a rich celebrity, but you bash rich celebrities and say they're not doing enough, but then like you've become a celebrity. But Umar says some righteous shit. Jason Whitlock, man. Oh, Jesus Christ. Man. That's a tough one. Kumasi, that's a tough one, man. But I'm going to take I know you meant no disrespect by that. So I'm going to take that as a compliment, and I'm going to cry in my car because somebody said that they compared me to Jason Whitlock. But Umar owed me $2,000 for that goddamn school, man. I'm still mad about that shit. But anyways, man, as I was saying, appreciate you guys for chopping it up with me. We will see. I think. Did you ever talk to your people's mouths, or we want to know? All right. Maybe tomorrow. If I don't see you tomorrow, I ain't gonna see you till next week. I got to go win a state championship. So hopefully tomorrow. But please check this out. We'll have some stuff chopped up for you guys later. Oh, at worst, tomorrow we will be doing some Georgia film breakdown. So we'll start that tomorrow. If you're a member, check out the Community of the Wall. If you're not a member, please consider being a member. It's $3.99 for the lowest level, and it's different levels. They get you different things. We'll see you guys later.